Hello everyone, welcome back to Divine Energies. Today the video is going to be about, it's a very serious one, and Heidi decided to choose one of the most important ones to start with, and it's self-love. And self-love is all about going inward and dissecting yourself pretty much with everything that you don't like or that is bothering you or that is a problem, and really putting it all out on the table and speaking your truth about each and every situation or person or relationship or work. It's just every single thing. You're going to go through it all with a fine-tooth comb, and the key is to speak your truth and to actually go through it and understand, even if it's upsetting and you're scared and you want to run and not face it because it's things about yourself, and you can't do that. You have to go through it, but it'll be better on the other side once you do, and once you realize that you love yourself.
So the most important part to begin is to absolutely, without a doubt, accept where you're at right now. You have to accept every experience, every awful relationship, everything that has ever went wrong for you in your life, and you have to accept that, love that, forgive that, and eventually you will be grateful that that made you who you are today.
Yeah, and even the bad things that has happened in your life or on your journey that you don't want to remember. You need to be grateful for that, because the bad could influence who you are just as much as the good, if not more. So definitely, while going through it and looking inward, accept everything where you're at, like she was saying, in the moment, at that time. If what you don't like about yourself is looks, you need to accept who you are at that time, and then make goals and slowly go on that journey of changing yourself to be your better self, or who you want to be, but still loving yourself while you're there at that moment.
And it's way more difficult than it sounds. So I'm just going to give you just a quick example of the way that I started making changes. Once I was bound and determined that I was going to level up and start loving myself, make positive changes in my life, be a positive person, I started doing positive self-talk. I think that's a given. I started talking about the things that I'd been learning to everyone that I knew. I started speaking my truth to everyone that I knew, and not everybody liked it. And then it was really one of the most difficult things for me, which it might not be so for anyone else because every individual is going to be different. But for me, just saying no to one of the simplest things of something that I didn't want to do. I would say yes to everything. And when I had to start saying no because it just didn't feel good, it didn't feel right, it wasn't what I wanted to do, that's when people start falling away. You start experiencing more loneliness than you expected. And then I was just ready to spend some time with myself, and I changed my routine because I had been on a night shift pattern of sleep and living my life for 15 plus years. Once I couldn't work in 2016, I continued that pattern for about a year, and then I wanted to make positive changes in my life. So I felt like Spirit led me to, okay, the first time your feet hit the floor in the morning, you're going to stay up. So I started just going outside into the weather, no matter what the weather might be, and I would drive away from my home and I would drive to a park, to a lake, somewhere just to be alone, look at the sky, look at the water, watch the animals, watch the squirrels, the birds. I just reconnected with nature, and that was kind of step one for me. And then it was, things like eating better food, making appointments to get my nails done, just staying on a schedule of things to keep me busy throughout the day, things that would make me feel good about myself.
So yeah, I could definitely see you're connecting. She's connecting with herself, and the key thing is she connected with herself. She made a decision as soon as her feet hit the floor to go outside and do that. So the key to all this is learning everything about you, get connected to you and who you are, but also you have to take action. You have to do, and some people it's just action, and some people it's radical action, where it just depends where you're at, on the love frequency of yourself. And I think we need to talk about it as how important it is, like, if you don't have self-love, where you're headed or where you're not headed. Is it a block wall? We don't really believe you can go and you reach a certain point, and if you don't have self-love, you're not gonna go any further. You're not gonna grow. You're not gonna keep growing. And you have anything to add on that part? I know we talked earlier, and you had something good to say, but she said it much better earlier. What I was trying to say is just without self-love, you're not going to have anything. You're going to project negativity, anger. A lot of people, if they're coming off angry, it's usually an internal thing, as most of you know, or not know. But it's you got to get a hold of self-love, no matter what it takes, and
it takes a lot of self-discipline. Mm-hmm. Just like changing your eating habits, quitting all addictions, it's going to take a lot of discipline. Like for me, leaving my home and going places alone was a huge step for me. That was, other than going to work, I never went any place and did anything on my own. And that was just I thought that I was really independent, until I had to start facing the fact that I didn't even want to go outside of my house.
Yeah, and like with me, I don't want to stick on us, but just in general, self-love. But mine was, I would do anything to not be alone in that situation, not to hear my thoughts, not to go inward. So whether, if I'm at home for an hour and I'm like, well, I'm going to see what this person's doing, or I'm going to see what that person's doing, or I'm going to go to B-dubs and eat something because I'm surrounded by all these people, and I'm not going to have these thoughts. That's what you need to not do, and you need to isolate, kind of in a way. Heidi did it, but she did it out in nature, and I did too, actually, with hiking and stuff like that, and running, and that'll get the ball rolling. Get into some peace and quiet and really listen to who you are.
And just reconnect with spirit, with nature, and understand why we're here and who we really are. Because every single one of us is much more than what we think.
And you're going to have to forgive the unforgivable in a lot of cases, and you're not forgiving those people or the things they've done for them. You're doing it so you can forgive yourself, so you can grow, so you can progress and get that happiness, fulfillment in your life.
And start living the best life that you can, and the life that you want.
Yeah, that's a big one, what you want.
And it all starts with putting yourself first, saying no when necessary, and doing the things that you want to do.
Speak your truth. And if you guys want to leave comments, of course, they're welcome. This video, we're going to add our email. So if you need to contact us or have any questions that way, or even do like a video type of conference or whatever you want to call it, we'll have that down in the description. Mm-hmm. Yeah, description. So I think that's it. Is that it?
I think that's it. So leave us questions, leave us ideas, if there's anything anybody would really want to hear about in particular, whether it be about our journey or just anything that we might know in particular that you have questions about. Just leave all of that in the comments and we'll get back to you.
Yep. Love you guys.
Thanks.
Peace.